Shalom, shalom. Man, it's very easy to wake up and just be overwhelmed with everything that you desire, want, or need to do. And today I'm going to talk to you about the most challenging choice for most people that we're all faced with every day, every morning. Let's talk about it. All praise to the Most High Yah Shalom. Thank you for tuning in to another Righteous Spirit-filled episode. Today I'm back at it in them trenches handling that kingdom business. Man, I pray your faith is strong enough to choose the way of the Most High Yah rather than the way of the world. But for a lot of people, we struggle with making the right choice. And it all starts with what your priorities are when you wake up in the morning. I want you to think about your morning cup of coffee and what you're pondering over. Man, are you pondering over, what you got to do at work? And, I hope there's no traffic. And I can't wait till the weekend, man, to go out and party, or just to be able to relax and do what you want? Or are you thinking about fulfilling the will of Yah today in some shape, form, or capacity? Are you thinking about the test and temptations that you will face throughout your day? Are you thinking about, preparing your mind mentally to walk upright according to the will of the Most High? And man, one path for a lot of people, it seems boring. It seems like, it seems like I'm not going to have a life if I choose that path. It just seems so boring and it seems stale. And I'll tell you that, the life of righteousness, choosing that path, is only going to seem boring if your heart is not in it. If your heart is not willing, but you're trying to force your flesh. And this is why a lot of people choose their will, which is never going to produce anything righteous, no matter how you put it. This is the reason why they choose their will over the will of the Most High Yah. And I want to ask you a question. What cup will you drink out of? Because there are no mixed drinks. There is no mixing and matching to get the right flavor, the right consistency. And you're like, ooh, I like this one. There are no mixed drinks. Which cup will you drink out of? 1 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 21. You cannot drink the cup of Yah and the cup of devils. Ye cannot be partakers of Yahweh's table and of the tables of devils. That's the hardest decision right there that you will have to make on this walk, and you have to make it on a daily basis. I want you to think about people that were on the path, that were walking upright, and then out of nowhere, they said, you know what? Man, I'm going to turn back. I'm going to take my hands off the plow. It had to do with the decision that each of us are forced to make. And it's even if you don't feel the force to make it, you're still making it one way or another. Man, am I going to drink of the cup of the Most High Yah today? To where I got to be a living sacrifice. I know I got to be obedient. I know I have to represent myself as an ambassador of the kingdom, an ambassador of righteousness. Or am I going to drink out of the cup that the majority of people will drink out of because it seems fun? It seems like you're not going to miss out on anything. You really don't have to sacrifice. You get to do what you want. Don't have to worry about the judgment from worldly people of, am I in violation of Torah? Matthew chapter 7, verse 13 through 14. Enter you in at the narrow gate, for wide is the gate and broad is the way that leads to destruction, and many be which go in thereat. Because narrow is the gate and troublesome is the way which leads to life, and few be there that find it. Like I said, there are no mixed drinks. And man, I want to encourage you to choose the path of righteousness, where the calling is to work out your salvation with fear and trembling, to be obedient to the will of the Most High Yah, because when it's all said and done, you know, when the fire goes out of life and the ashes settle, you know, when they put you in that ground and you're 6 feet below, or cremating you or whatever, man, it's all going to come down to which cup did you choose to drink out of? Did you drink out of the cup of Yah and continue therein? Or did you, hold fast and hearken unto the sweet but deceitful taste and flavor out of the cup of demons, out of the cup of devils? One of the hardest decisions. But I'll tell you, man, if you're drinking out of the cup of Yah and you make that choice, man, you will enter in at the narrow gate. It seems like when it comes to the cup that has all these different flavors and has all these different options and all these different additions you can put in there to get the flavor you want, man, it seems like people are lining up left and right to drink out of that cup. But the cup of Yah, man, it's only got one flavor. That's righteousness. You take it as it is or you don't take it at all. But this is the cup of eternal life. There is no other way than Hamashiach. Closer to Yah Ministries, kicking it gun barrel straight.